My name is Robert Andrew. I'm a descendant of the Yaru people. The new artwork for the FAS building in the University of Sydney came about through looking into the history of the site and looking at what happens now on the site and finding out previous to the Sydney University being there or pre-colonisation, that was a meeting place. That was an area where Australian Aboriginal people met. So my work that I have been doing looks at uncovering histories, showing knowledge and the complexity of knowledge systems. The word Garabara comes from or is another word for corroboree. Corroboree we see as a dance or a performance, but I think from the research that I've done, there's initiation, there's ceremony, there's coming together of groups at different times a year for a different season. With that coming together, there's this knowledge transfer that's always happening. They're not static events where they come and do the same thing. So these are evolving events all the time in history. The word itself is eroded into the surface, and then it's like there's water erosion or other erosion that's coming off the text down the surface, which actually continues on and sort of pulls onto the pavement underneath the work as well. With the erosion process and the text, we wanted to have it really subtle in a way that the word was definable. You could read it as text, but it was something that you had to stop and look at. It's almost looking at the letters individually to see what is held within that sort of form or that erosion pattern on there. As you understand it as text, but you need to sort of engage with it a little bit more with that. So within that, as that process of erosion, we've also added another process to it, which is the rusting process, or the granite has a stain going down it, and it's that stain that builds up over time as well. So it's another indicator of time, another indicator of history, and also the complexity of histories, and within that also that transference of knowledge systems as well, and that building of knowledge systems within the work. There's also metal inserts with iron inserts and bronze inserts that are part of the erosion process, but conceptually they're also parts that will continue to evolve over time as well. And this is part of the concept, I think, is this evolving of knowledge. It's something that you can see early knowledge. You're not displacing early knowledge, you're adding to it and building on early knowledge, and this comes back to the FAS site, the university site, where they're continually building on old knowledge and from old knowledge bringing new knowledge. So over time with the metal inserts is the idea that they will slowly rust and bleed, and the work will keep evolving. So it's this idea of having a structure that incorporate the past and the present and the future as well. And I think that's really important in the grounds of the university. In the original brief there was materials already defined, so it was granite and aluminium. Looking at the granite and looking at some of the work that I've done before, the concept came about of that taking back into the granite surface and eroding back into the granite surface, where in a material like that shows a history and a long history, especially in granite, or there is a sense that something's been there for a long time. The look that we were looking for was sort of more of a natural look. One of the processes that we looked at was photogrammetry, and the idea of capturing a surface and turning an image of a surface into a 3D render, so then it can be reproduced on another surface. So this is the erosion process that's happened on this, came from that image of those rocks down in Bondi Beach. So it was really nice to have that connection back to the area. My advice to young artists is to continue the passion. You've got into arts because you're passionate about making art, and I think that's an important thing to hold on to, and part of it's sort of perseverance, but the rest of it is just maintaining that passion for your art, and that passion shows through wherever you do.